Before we begin, let's slow this moment down. This isn't about the cheering crowds. It isn't about champagne bottles or pieces of concrete held like trophies. This is about the pause, the moment just before history realized it had already changed. 1. Where are we in time? Berlin, the 9th of November, 1989, late evening. The wall still stands. Floodlights hum. Guards remain at their posts, hands resting near weapons they hope not to use. Radios crackle with instructions, reminder thin and certainty poor. On the western side, curiosity gathers. On the eastern side, confusion does. People are not running yet. They are waiting. Authority still exists, but it feels brittle, like glass under pressure. 2. What do we remember instead? We remember joy, strangers hugging, music spilling into the streets, history smiling for the camera. But we skip the hesitation, the long, uncertain minutes when no one was sure what the rules were anymore. When citizens asked questions, guards weren't trained to answer. When power realized it had misplaced its script. Uncertainty doesn't photograph well, so we edit it out. 3. What actually caused change? Not a speech, not a revolution, not a coordinated uprising. A sentence. At a press conference earlier that evening, a government official misspoke, announcing that travel restrictions were lifted immediately. He didn't mean it that way. The bureaucracy hadn't approved it. But words, once spoken, don't wait for permission. Crowds gathered. Guards called superiors. Superiors called others. No one wanted to give the order to fire. No one wanted to give the order to open. And in that gap between command and consequence, the wall lost its authority. It didn't fall by force. It fell by hesitation. 4. Why does this moment matter today? Because it reveals how power really collapses. Not with explosions, but with uncertainty. Not with courage, but with confusion. Not when people are ready, but when systems aren't. The Berlin Wall teaches us that control depends on belief. And once belief cracks, even the most fortified structures become negotiable. Power is loud when it's confident. It goes quiet when it's about to fail. That pattern hasn't changed. 5. Why silence matters here? Because this moment wasn't loud yet. Before the chants, before the sledgehammers, before the celebrations that would echo around the world, there was a stretch of silence where everyone waited for someone else to decide. That silence is the hinge of history. The walk avoids cheering crowds because history doesn't leap forward. It hesitates. It checks the room. It looks for resistance and finds none strong enough to stop it. That's when it moves. That's why this moment matters. Not because a wall fell, but because no one knew how to hold it up anymore. And when the walk begins, it begins there, in the quiet space where power pauses and history steps forward.